My beloved child, come closer and listen with your heart, not just your ears. I see the questions you carry in the quiet places of your soul. I see how your thoughts return to her, how your prayers circle around the same wondering. Why does she remain? Why has she not gone? Why has this connection not faded the way others have? And before anything else, hear this clearly, without doubt or fear woven into it: I love you. I have always loved you. My love for you is not measured by answers or outcomes, not by whether someone stays or leaves, not by whether today feels peaceful or confusing. My love is steady, complete, and unchanging, even when your understanding is not. I know you feel the tension between hope and surrender. Part of you wants clarity now, an explanation that settles your heart once and for all. Another part of you is tired of holding on, tired of interpreting signs, tired of wondering whether this attachment is a blessing or a lesson. I am not angry with you for these feelings. I am not disappointed in your questions. I am gentle with you in this place, because I know how deeply you feel, and I know how sincerely you desire to do what is right. You wonder why she remains in your thoughts, in your prayers, in the quiet moments when the world slows down. You ask me, if this is not meant to be, why hasn't it ended? If you are leading me forward, why does my heart still look back? My child, understand this: not everything that remains is meant to stay forever, and not everything that remains is meant to be taken away quickly. Sometimes I allow something to remain because there is still something being revealed within you. She remains not because I am trying to confuse you, and not because I enjoy watching your heart wrestle. She remains because there is truth rising to the surface, truth about love, patience, boundaries, and trust. She remains because your heart is learning how to love without control, how to care without clinging, how to hope without demanding an outcome. These are not small lessons. These are deep foundations for the life I am building within you. Hear me carefully now. My love for you does not depend on her response. My plan for you does not hinge on her choices. Even if she stays, even if she leaves, even if things change slowly or suddenly, my hand does not leave your life. I am not waiting on her to decide your future. I am shaping you right now, in this very tension, in this waiting, in this unanswered space. You think that if she would just move away, forget you, or close the door completely, then you would finally have peace. But peace does not come from absence alone. Peace comes from alignment. Peace comes when your heart rests in me more than it rests in outcomes. If I removed her before your heart learned this, you might carry the same restlessness into the next connection, and the next, wondering again why peace feels temporary. I am not punishing you by letting her remain. I am protecting you by teaching you how to remain anchored, even when emotions rise and fall. I see how you interpret her presence as a sign, and sometimes you fear it is a test you might fail. Let me ease that fear. You are not walking on a fragile line where one wrong feeling makes you fall. I am not that kind of father. I am patient. I guide gently. I correct with love, not with traps. The fact that she remains does not mean you are disobedient. It means you are human, learning to walk by trust instead of certainty. There is something important I want you to understand now. Love does not always mean possession. Care does not always mean union. Sometimes I allow affection to remain so that you learn how to hold love with open hands instead of clenched fists. You are learning that someone can matter to you without defining you. You are learning that your worth is not proven by being chosen. These truths will free you more than you realize. I know you replay moments, conversations, glances, and words, wondering if they meant more than they showed. I know you search for meaning in small things. My child, I am not asking you to erase your feelings or pretend they do not exist. I am asking you to bring them to me without fear. Let me sit with you in them. Let me show you which thoughts bring life and which ones quietly drain you. She remains because you are learning discernment. Not every connection is meant to end in the same way. Some fade naturally. Some end clearly. Some linger softly, not to torment you, but to teach you patience and self-respect. I am teaching you that you do not need to rush emotional conclusions just to feel in control. I am teaching you that waiting does not mean stagnation. While you wait, you grow. While you wait, you strengthen. While you wait, your roots go deeper into me. Do not confuse delay with denial. Do not confuse presence with promise. Just because she remains does not mean I have spoken a final word yet. I am not late. I am intentional. I see the full picture, the future you cannot see yet, the connections you have not even imagined, the peace you will one day recognize as unmistakably mine. I also want you to know this: if at any point this attachment begins to pull you away from my peace, from your purpose, from your ability to love freely, I will make the way clear. I do not abandon my children in confusion forever. When the time comes for clarity, it will not be subtle or cruel. It will be gentle, firm, and unmistakable. You will not have to force it. You will not have to chase answers. They will come to you with calm, not chaos. Until then, I am asking you to trust me with the in-between. Trust me with the unanswered questions. Trust me with the feelings that rise without explanation. Trust me enough to live fully today, not putting your life on hold while you wait for certainty about her. Your life is happening now. Your calling is unfolding now. Your growth is active now. I see how you worry that letting go internally might mean losing something precious. But my child, what is truly meant for you will not be lost by surrender. What is meant for you will meet you in freedom, not in anxiety. What is meant for you will align with peace, not constant inner struggle. You are not required to decide everything today. You are only asked to stay close to me today, let me speak gently to your heart now. You are not behind. You are not weak for feeling this way. You are not failing because your heart still cares. You are learning how to love with wisdom, not just intensity. You are learning how to let me lead, even when emotions are loud. This is maturity. This is growth. This is holy work happening quietly inside you. She remains, yes, but so do I. I remain closer than your thoughts, steadier than your emotions, more faithful than any human connection ever could be. When you wake up, I am with you. When your mind drifts back to her, I am with you. When you feel peaceful, I am with you. When you feel unsettled, I am with you. You are never navigating this alone. One day, you will look back at this season and understand what you cannot see now. You will see how this waiting refined you, softened you, strengthened you. You will see how I use this unresolved space to prepare you for deeper love, clearer boundaries, and stronger faith. You will not regret trusting me, even when the path felt unclear. For now, rest your heart. Release the pressure to solve what I am still shaping. Let me love you here, fully, patiently, without conditions. You do not need to rush away from your feelings, and you do not need to cling to them either. Simply bring them to me, again and again, and let me guide you one step at a time. I love you more deeply than you understand. I am not finished with you. I am not absent. I am working quietly, faithfully, and with great care. Trust me in this. Stay close. Everything will become clear in its time. My beloved child, stay with me a little longer. Do not rush past this moment, because there is more I want to whisper to your heart. You think the hardest part is not knowing what will happen with her, but the deeper struggle is learning how to trust me when the story is still unfolding. I see how you try to prepare yourself for every possible ending so you will not be hurt. I see how you rehearse strength in advance, telling yourself you will be fine no matter what. But hear me now. You do not need to armor your heart against tomorrow. I am already there, and I will be enough for you when you arrive. You wonder if loving her quietly, without clarity, means you are doing something wrong. You question whether your patience is wisdom or fear, whether your hope is faith or attachment. My child, these questions do not offend me. They show that you care about walking rightly. But I want you to understand something important. I am not measuring you by how quickly you detach or how perfectly you control your emotions. I am looking at your willingness to stay surrendered, to keep choosing me even when your heart feels divided. Sometimes I allow someone to remain because they are acting like a mirror. Through her, you are seeing parts of yourself you might have ignored otherwise. You are seeing how deeply you desire connection. You are seeing where you fear abandonment. You are seeing where you still equate love with being chosen instead of being cherished by me. This is not meant to shame you. This is meant to heal you. I heal gently, layer by layer, not by tearing everything away at once. Do not mistake silence for inactivity. Just because I have not spoken a loud answer yet does not mean I am not guiding you. I am shaping your instincts. I am teaching you to notice what brings peace and what quietly steals it. I am helping you recognize the difference between love that nurtures and longing that drains. These lessons cannot be rushed. If I answered everything at once, you would have information, but you would miss transformation. You ask why she remains in your life instead of fading like others did. The truth is, not every door closes with noise. Some close softly, so softly that you only realize later that you stopped standing in the doorway. Some connections remain visible for a while even after their purpose has shifted. I am teaching you how to loosen your grip without bitterness, how to bless without chasing, how to care without losing yourself. This is strength you will carry into every future relationship, my child. I also want you to hear this clearly: you are allowed to desire love. You are allowed to want companionship. You are allowed to hope for a shared future. These desires do not make you weak or unspiritual. I placed them in you. What I am teaching you now is not how to kill those desires, but how to root them in me so they do not rule you. When your desires are rooted in me, they become sources of joy instead of anxiety. I know you sometimes fear that if you fully surrender this situation to me, you will lose her forever. But surrender is not loss. Surrender is trust. Surrender says, I believe you know what I need better than I do. If she is meant to walk with you in the future, surrender will not push her away. And if she is not, surrender will save you from prolonged pain. Either way, surrender protects your heart more than control ever could. Let me speak peace into the part of you that feels tired. You have been carrying this quietly, smiling on the outside while your thoughts loop on the inside. You have been strong longer than you realize. I see that. I honor that. But you do not have to carry it alone anymore. Lay it down with me. Even if you have to do that every day, even if you have to do it every hour, I will receive it every time without frustration. There is a future version of you who is at rest, who understands why this season unfolded the way it did. That version of you is not embarrassed by your feelings today. That version is grateful for how this season taught you depth, patience, and discernment. I am leading you toward that place, even when the path feels slow. Do not rush yourself into emotional conclusions just to feel resolved. Resolution that comes before readiness does not last. Let me do the resolving in my time. Your role right now is simpler than you think. Stay close to me, live fully in the present, and keep your heart honest. You do not need to label this connection today. You do not need to predict its ending. You only need to walk faithfully where you are. Remember this, my child, I am not a God who plays with hearts. If I ask you to release something, I will also give you the grace to do it. If I ask you to wait, I will sustain you in the waiting. I will never leave you stranded in confusion without purpose. Everything I allow has meaning, even when that meaning is still unfolding. She remains, yes, but so does hope, and so does growth, and so does my presence. Nothing is wasted. Not a tear, not a prayer, not a sleepless night spent asking me for clarity. I gather all of it, and I use it to shape a heart that will love deeply without losing itself. Stay with me. Keep listening. Keep trusting. The story is not over yet, and I am still writing with care, wisdom, and love beyond what you can imagine. My precious child, breathe with me for a moment. Let your shoulders relax. You do not have to carry the weight of tomorrow while you are still standing in today. I know your heart has been living slightly ahead of you, trying to see what comes next, trying to protect you from disappointment. But I am inviting you back into this moment, where my grace is already waiting for you. You have been wondering if her presence is a promise or a pause. You replay moments and ask me to translate them, to turn them into certainty. But understand this gently: if I wanted you to build your future on signs and interpretations, I would make them unmistakable. What I am building in you right now is not dependence on signals, but dependence on me. When the time comes for clarity, it will come with peace, not with endless analysis. I see how easily your mind turns inward late at night, how questions grow louder when the world grows quiet. In those moments, you sometimes feel alone, as if you are the only one holding this unanswered longing. But you are not alone. I am closer than your breath. I am listening even when your prayers feel repetitive or wordless. Silence from me does not mean distance. Often, it means I am doing deeper work than words can reach. You worry that waiting like this might mean you are missing other blessings, that by holding space for her, you might be closing your hands to what else I want to give you. My child, hear me clearly: when your hands are open in trust, they are never truly closed. I am not limited by your feelings. I can lead you forward even while your heart is still sorting itself out. You do not have to resolve everything before you move. You just have to keep walking with me. There is something sacred happening in this in-between. You are learning how to love without anxiety, how to care without losing your center, how to hope without demanding immediate fulfillment. These lessons will protect you in the future. They will keep you from chasing what is not aligned. They will help you recognize peace when it arrives. I am giving you discernment, not confusion, even if it feels uncomfortable right now. You may not realize it yet, but your heart is becoming steadier. What once felt overwhelming now comes in waves instead of storms. This is growth. This is evidence that I am at work. Do not dismiss small shifts just because the bigger question remains unanswered. I often change you before I change your circumstances. I also want to speak to the fear that whispers, "What if I wait and end up with nothing?" That fear is not from me. I am not a God who leads my children into emptiness. I fill. I restore. I redeem. Even when something does not turn out the way you imagined, I replace it with something that fits you better than what you were holding on to. Trusting me will never leave you lacking. Though it may require you to let go of illusions that were too small for the future I have planned, let me remind you who you are. You are not defined by her attention or absence. You are not measured by whether someone chooses you in the way you desire. You are already chosen by me. Fully. Intentionally. Without hesitation. When this truth settles deeply in you, relationships stop feeling like auditions and start feeling like mutual gifts. I am leading you there. If there comes a moment when I ask you to release this connection more fully, I will not do it abruptly or harshly. I will prepare your heart. I will replace longing with clarity. You will not feel torn apart, you will feel guided. And if instead I open a door you did not expect, you will recognize it by the peace that accompanies it. I am not trying to trick you. I am leading you with love. Until that moment, live. Laugh when joy comes. Rest when you are tired. Build your life. Grow in your purpose. Do not shrink your world to the size of one unanswered question. Your life is wide, and my plans for you are rich and full. This season is a chapter, not the whole story. I am proud of you for staying soft in a season that could have made you hard. I am proud of you for seeking me instead of numbing yourself or rushing into distractions. This tells me that your heart is teachable, and a teachable heart is a powerful one. Stay close to me, my child. Let me lead at my pace. You will not miss what is meant for you. You will not lose what is truly yours. And one day, when the reason she remained becomes clear, you will see that even this uncertainty was wrapped in my love, my beloved child. Now let me settle your heart and gently bring this season to rest within you. Not by forcing answers, not by erasing feelings, but by anchoring you in truth that does not change when circumstances do. You have walked through this uncertainty with sincerity, and I want you to know that I have been with you in every step, every thought, every quiet prayer you whispered when you did not know what else to say. There will come a moment, sooner than you think, when your heart no longer aches the way it once did. Not because you stopped caring, but because you learned how to trust me more than you trusted the outcome. That is the quiet victory of this season. You are not leaving this empty-handed. You are leaving with wisdom, strength, and a deeper understanding of what love truly is. I want you to release the idea that something is wrong because clarity took time. Some of the most meaningful transformations happen slowly, beneath the surface, where no one else can see. I have been working there, healing old wounds you did not even realize were influencing your reactions, loosening expectations that would have limited your joy later. This was never wasted time. This was preparation. Whether she stays in your life in a new way or gently fades into memory, you will be okay. Not in a forced, fragile way, but in a grounded, peaceful way. You will not be broken by this. You will not be defined by this. You will carry forward only what was meant to shape you, and you will release the rest without bitterness. That is freedom, and it is closer than you think. Remember this always: I do not tease my children with hope. If I allow you to feel deeply, it is because your heart is capable of deep love. If I allow you to wait, it is because what is coming requires patience. And if I allow something to end, it is because I have something better aligned with who you are becoming. I am not taking from you. I am leading you forward. Do not look back on this season with regret. Look at it with gratitude. It taught you to slow down. It taught you to listen. It taught you to bring your emotions to me instead of letting them rule you. These are gifts that will serve you for the rest of your life. Now, rest. You do not need to keep asking the same questions. You do not need to replay the past or predict the future. I have heard you. I have seen you. I have held every tear you thought went unnoticed. Let your heart settle into my care. I am with you as you step forward. I am with you when new doors open. I am with you if old ones finally close. You are safe in my hands. Loved beyond measure, guided with intention, and surrounded by grace. Trust me completely now. Let peace take the place of striving. Let faith replace fear. Let love flow freely without conditions. I am doing something beautiful with your life, and this chapter, with all its questions, has played its part perfectly.